So first I built the whole thing in this program. It took like 150 hours. And then all that was left to do was build it. Just because of how long it took to get all this put together, I'm worrying about like unreasonable things that just won't happen. Like, what if I accidentally got the Japanese Legos? And then my hands don't put them together because they're American hands. Like, language incompatibility might not make any sense. Like, I got things to worry about. This is not going to take long at all, in fact. That only took me a few minutes because I have my Legos pretty well organized here. So I've got, this pile is mostly Legos, and then this is like slightly less Legos, and these are like, this is the pancake bar bags. So I remember pretty well. I got a lot of hidden little algorithms to it going on in my brain. So all you quote unquote professionals out there who think like, oh, this is not that organized, to be honest. If I were building it, it would be faster. If you were building it, you'd be dead. I'm a lot stronger than the average person, only I can manage this project. Where in the heck are the blues with the 2 holes? Official name. Seriously, I'm supposed to have like 1,000 of them or something. I mean, I suppose it's possible I just ordered the wrong pieces. Well, I feel like if I waited for the right pieces to arrive and just recorded a different day, this would be very uncharacteristic of my channel. So I mean, I have to fit with the lore and the character arc. People are gonna think I changed too much. So we're gonna use the wrong color, I suppose. But I mean, GameCube was never Lego to begin with, so there is no right anything here. So technically, I found the loophole again, and once more, I'm just uncriticizable in a video, which is great to hear. Nice. I just like how this looks. I might just keep this like this, to be honest. Maybe use it as a coaster for my giant oversized drinking containers. Now, I'm actually talking through the whole thing of this, but obviously not putting all of it in. If you're interested in hearing every little thing that I say, because I don't stop talking for the 4 or 5 hours that it's going to take to do this, you could go ahead and check out my life in general and my house and me living and become my roommate. That is about the only way that you could do that. So, and applications are currently closed at the moment. I have a dog named Dingus who has occupied that, so I apologize. So far, this is actually like a decent size to it. It's going to be a bit bigger than a regular GameCube. I got these smooth parts on the bottom, these little accents here, and I think these are going to get covered up by things to make it so the color doesn't matter. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just trying to think of things to say that's kind of relevant to the Lego side of things in the process, because quite frankly, my brain by default tries to stray away from that, and you'll find me at funerals specifically talking about like, what is it called? What is it called, like if you put frog or fish eggs on something? There's a specific word for it. There's like a word for it though, I don't know. Anyway, sorry for your loss. Ah! You guys could watch where you're going. I would have, a less restrained man would have turned and, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have snapped at you like that. I know your condition stops you from being able to evade me as easily. Your condition of being a camera. Okay, to make these little time-lapse parts a little more interesting, I told myself to do a little stand-up comedy routine, just do a little entertainment in the meantime. Check my notes here, sorry. Keep the mic close to your face, yeah, doing that. Be funny. Oof, it's so how about my pajamas? Holy shoot. I woke up this morning and I thought, all right, well, we pretty much just got editing today. I recorded most of this stuff. All the footage you're seeing day before that. So I get out of bed and I'm like, well, I don't really need to put on a full outfit because I'm just kind of going into my editing, you know, little tappity tap room. That's what I call a computer. Shout out to all the idiots who found that funny. So I'm like, yeah, camo pajama pants, pajama shirt. Put it on, I go over to my room. And I notice on the ground there's my dog's toy, and I think, well, my dog must have been here playing with his freaking toy. I thought, that dingus. Man, that dude's insane. So, yeah, sat down and I edited, and I got to these parts where I'm time-lapsing through just like the long process of me not saying anything, just building with Legos. I thought, what if I added like me doing stand-up comedy on a green screen, and I just kind of put it in post, make it a lot more interesting. So I did that. I'm doing it. It's not actually done yet, so Huh? What's that? Like, yeah, have you guys heard of Yoshi? He probably doesn't even show up because he's green. That's a chroma key editing joke for all the chroma key editors out there. People don't even know that I'm violently choking him right now. So here's what we got for the console itself. It's a little bit big, to be honest. Bigger than I thought it would be. But that could have been that I designed it on a really tiny screen, and so my eyes... I don't know. There's a concept for a joke there. I was onto something for a second. With how much bigger this is than the actual console itself, I could straight up fit a whole GameCube console in here. Now I won't. Not because I'm dedicated to my craft, but to avoid criticism. In fact, that's entirely everything that drives me is just to avoid criticism. I don't care for like money or happiness or fame or anything like that, but if I don't have those things, someone's gonna say I'm cringe or something. So I like to have those things just for that reason. So let me go and get a GameCube console based on that entire philosophy I just explained. Now, while most people at this point are still on board with this project and maybe confident in my ability, and maybe even some of them are like, well, you know what, this is a little bit better than I expected from a guy who doesn't even know the answer to his own shirt. But I'm gonna lose a couple people here. We're putting a black GameCube inside of a purple GameCube, actually a blue GameCube, and it's just several layers of Nintendo blasphemy or something, I don't know. This is all pretty interesting. It does come with a secure helmet. There are several plastic, like, pokey things in my skull right now. Ho ho ho. Ho ha. I get a little devious when something I didn't think would work works. I need a couple extra parts, and most of these are specifically for the controller, so I'm taking from an old friend of mine. Y'all might know this guy as Sonic Scalp. There you go, and that's the whole console itself. These are not buttons, they're ears. This is how he hears you. I really like Mario Sunshine. So with this out of the way and looking like something that I'm actually like secretly very proud of, but won't be too expressive with my feelings, because that's how they get you on the internet. We now move on to the even harder part. Oh, and before I go, here's some B-roll background footage of the console. I'm not telling you as if you don't know. I'm telling you so I don't forget later. Future me's been a little lippy lately, so. So most of my life, I go to a restaurant and I maybe want a soda pop, and everyone always knows this classic trope. Like, you generally want it without ice. You go to a restaurant and you order a big old Coke or a Pepsi or something, and they load it up with halfway ice, and then there's a little bit of soda pop in there, right? Am I right? Am I right? I'm right. So I was always like, well, I want maximum sugar and as little water and ice as I can. Get the most out of my buck, get the most out of my taste buds. Am I right? Am I right? That's what I always ask without ice. Well, actually, I wouldn't. I was a little too bashful for that, but I would generally not want ice. But lately now, I'm taking these big pitchers. Do I got one here? No, I don't. Don't cut that out, though. That was kind of me looking around like that was kind of a funny comedian thing. Now, I fill that thing up with 2 big trays of ice. It's just filled to the brim with ice, and then I pour 1 soda pop in there. It fills up that glass, and it's mostly ice and some soda. I can drink a lot more soda pop, and then it goes a lot further. It's a lot easier on my tummy wummy. Yeah, and that's not even, this isn't even my stand-up routine. This is my fun science tip of the day, my fun little health tip. Well, that's it. I'm out of material. That's all I've... Okay, what's a funny comedian thing that comedians do that I can end on here? YouTube comedians yell. Goodbye. So here's what we came up with for the controller. And I have a confession, I've been a little bit of a good boy. Oh, what's that? Oh, and a little bit of a bad boy. Perfect timing. Whew, I don't know if I could have landed that joke without the ringtone. So I did in fact make the buttons and control sticks and D-pad and everything out of Legos. The bad part is I just kind of had to cut this and copy paste it, sort of a thing. I did legitimately try and just build the Lego shell and try to put the insides in it, but I measured things wrong during the instructions because, I don't know, it wasn't really my fault. Like Saturn was off its course or something that day. Just the vibes were off. Oop. Yeah, man, it is falling apart here. Came from whatever. Anyway, we're gonna test it out here. Doggone it. Plug this bad boy in. I'm surprised it actually plugged in correctly. So I'll use the handle. Pop this bad boy in. In the moment of truth. You'll notice that my hands are severely burnt, by the way. That's another reason I kind of did this off camera. I've been in excruciating pain because, sorry, I know people are going to complain that I'm on a tangent here, but it's just not one. And it's actually you like me instead, so just change your mind. These pieces have holes in them. So I was putting hot glue in the bottom to get these to stick to the buttons, and it shot through and it got all over these specific fingers that I was holding it with, and I am now severely burnt. It actually hurts quite a bit. It's going to be a lot harder to test this thing. So I'm only saying that not because I desire sympathy, but because I know there's going to be like some Kotaku article about it in a few days, how people think I'm going to die and they're very worried about it, and everyone starts this big GoFundMe, and I just don't want it to be this big thing. So I thought I'd get that out of the way. I don't want to show the hardship I put into this, okay? I'm just here to entertain, okay? It's not about me. Anyway. Dude, that actually glows too. That lines up properly. That was about the last thing that I thought would work. The last thing that I cared if it worked. Oh no, system settings. Oh, there we go. All right. That was actually a very loud Lego sound. I hope it doesn't just boom into the Star Wars logo and be way louder than it needs to be, because that would hurt my ears a lot. So. Okay. Can I beat one level with a Lego controller and a Lego console in Lego Star Wars? That should be the whole title. And the part where I said that should be the whole title. That should be part of the title too. Ah! I remember as a kid, I used to cry every time they died because I thought they were good. Oh, Qui-Gon's so cool when he puts the stick behind him and like kills the droids with it and like just puts it backwards, because you can't even see that with his eyes. So he's like, "Oh, the Force." This is as fast as I can move. Overpowering move, just double jump, ground pound. Goes through people, it's got a shockwave. Obi-Wan, please wait up, I can't run. Ah! I've been snuck attacked, but Qui-Gon, you know what they say, Qui-Gons be Qui-Gons. Obi-Wan, step on the button. Ow! Oh! Qui-Gon's deflective butt cheek just saved me there. That's enough! Yeah. Now we just tiptoe into the ship, because I don't have any kind of choice to the contrary. We gotta move. The tank's gonna run over us. Obi-Wan, run! Don't kill me! Go to bed. Ha! Stupid. I could do that in this one. You can't actually do that in the regular version of the game, but because I'm playing on Lego hardware, there's the built-in cheat code where I can just like push them off cliffs, and it's funny. Yeah. Anyway, we got to the cutscene with Boss Nass though, so as far as I was concerned as a kid, you've beaten the game at this point. Like, fully with Lego pieces as well. Sick. You just like do one of these, it glows. I don't want to play anymore. I'm just turning it on so this little thing glows because it makes me happy at my accomplishments. You know, we can move this one over here just so it's a little clearer of a vision. Yeah, like this whole thing here makes me happy enough. I don't think I need anything else ever again. I may retire from YouTube. I don't need a creative outlet anymore. Yeah, I did change my shirt again.